that why the girls love Maliedon so much. Dance hardly coded. It's ironic, we just watch one of that music videos more, but we'll see what's
Dancehall is
going.
full
Let's
of
see
many
what's
artists
going
who have
on.
won the love and affection of the ladies, with many female fans around the world, willing to go to some crazy lengths to show their love.
450. I want to use my spit and spit up on your balls them and wake them up cause them asleep.
But there's one right now who is taking the scene by absolute storm, and that is none other than Maliedon. But Mali
No,
did not come into dancehall as a girl artist, and even now mostly portrays an image of badness more
back
than
in 8 months ago.
anything else. So why is
Huh.
it that the ladies like this man
Maybe even like not saying maybe like recently, whenever know somebody done something like gun something like that.
so much? Well, to understand this, we need to take it all the way back to September 8, 2018, when a 16-year-old Maliedon would begin uploading his first few
Damn,
songs to
bro was
YouTube. These
16 and that's crazy. 16, 2018. I mean, like, about like 23 now, like 23 or 22.
songs were generally less about women and more about general dancehall themes such as money and badness. However, this would take a shift when 2021
Bro,
would
I'm
come
Molly dog. That's Molly done? Bro, I'm not dog.
dancehall themes
Chill
such as
the
money
fuck
and
out,
badness. However,
nigga.
this would take a shift when
Bro, yo, believe in ourselves, dog. Like, really.
2021 would come around and a new era would take over dancehall, scamming. Maliedon was one of the first new gen artists to fully embrace the chopping wave, and embrace it he did, because as soon as he sung songs like NCB, his numbers saw a massive increase. But no song took him to the stratosphere like the song Crook, which based on the name, you already know what it's about. And of course, the song went insane. Mali would continue to ride this wave for the following months to come, focusing exclusively on scamming music while only dropping 1 and 2 girl songs in between, namely Every Time and Unfair Games with Stardoll. But in doing all of this, the most important thing he
Where
focused
start
on
of?
Unfair Games with Stardoll, dropping 1 and 2 girl songs in between, namely Every Time and Unfair Games with Stardoll. But in doing all of this, the most
Like, I ain't being messy, but like, what going on with Stardust? Bro, it's like, I don't know, I feel like me really hear about the female artist, them again. I really just Jada and who else? Like, fuck, actually, Maya, they both sometime. Really just Jada. Bro, me hear about Maya, how long, dog? Like, what else?
important thing he focused
What going
on
to
was
girl
leaning
artist?
into the badness side of his image, especially since he was affiliated with the Camp 6, a group of individuals known for their less than legal activities. Eventually, Mali would continue to climb into the game with songs like Paper Chaser, Vanilla Card, and Bank, and he would just get bigger and bigger over time, racking up millions of views. But no song let his name become more known than the absolute banger that is V6, which blew up to astronomical proportions and took his career from local chopping artist to global name. But even at this point, he still wasn't really singing for the ladies, and would drop many more songs about the same topics that were trending, but nothing for the girls. That was until something would eventually happen. He decided to try something new, a different and more chill style as opposed to his usual violent and gruesome lyrics, and that song was called Cups Up. And whether it was because of the time of year or what the culture needed at that specific moment in time, contrary to what some would have expected, that song became an absolute hit and instantly shot past the majority of his discography. Instead of being bodies dropping and clients sending the funds, Mali was making a song directly for the party environment, and of course the ladies absolutely loved it. And of course, as a smart
When they say Maliedon, I expect to hear V6 for they start
man,
playing.
if you see something working, you're gonna wanna do it again. And so just a month later, he would try another experiment, dropping a song that was completely out of left field of anything he had ever done before. A song called Snake Eye, which at this point was one of the most
I ain't never heard
nasty,
that.
raunchy, and disgusting songs he had ever dropped. But of course, you can imagine who liked that song. The ladies. And now that the concept had been officially proven, he had no reason to not keep going. And so, with a
I ain't never
newfound
heard
drive,
that
Mali
song. Maybe I gotta check. Nah, I never heard
Maliedon
that.
headed back to the studio and just 3 days later emerged with an absolute bombshell that not even he could have predicted would have done what it did. He decided that if the ladies wanted him to be his most brawling, raw self, then he would hold back absolutely nothing. And that was when he came with the song Little Miss Grippy. And people, don't let the numbers fool you. This song is an absolute hit. If you live anywhere close to grown men and women and nighttime comes, just know that you will probably hear this song coming from somebody's bedroom door, and you know that that means somebody's daughter is getting sent to another dimension. The song found its way into pretty much every bedroom playlist in the country and even outside of
Oh,
the country. And it was from this point that his female fans would truly see
something fell off. Oh, I'm a jaw.
him as the gunman she want in a sheol. But it gets even crazier because just after that, he would drop a third song in a row just for the ladies. And as crazy as that last song went, this one somehow did even more. A song that racked up over 12 million views called Dungeon. And if Mali was not fully solidified in the girl dem mind after Little Miss Grippy, he definitely was now. He went on to drop more songs like Rum Please, Dora, and Fountain. And while there were still occasionally badness songs in between, it was very clear where his new focus lied. And as his numbers grew day by day, so did the level of wildness and freeness in his lyrics. Which brings me to reason number one of why the ladies love Maliedon so much. If you ask any of them, the first thing they will say is his lyrics. It's no surprise that people like sexual lyrics in music. And trust me, we're dancehall fans, we know sexual lyrics in music. But even I was shocked when I heard some of the things that Maliedon was saying. Even for dancehall standards, it wasn't the typical, oh baby, a pum pum tight and clean. It was more like, bitch, I'm busting in your face and dash up on the ground. And me not gonna lie, me never think say woman them woulda like that. But to my surprise, every single comment section I opened was
Hey, listen, you ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't, you know what I'm saying? You wasn't hip to the game. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
full of things like this. And the ones defending him were none other than the very ladies themselves. But why is this the case? This is because, according to what some of the female fans have told me, whenever they hear a song that speaks to them in a certain type of way, it makes them feel like a bad bitch. One of these very women described to me that she has never felt sexier than when she sits down and listens to one of these songs. Hence why they love to post with them on their IG stories so much. It really makes them feel like say them have the tightest punani on the earth. But something's still missing here, because by this logic, this applies to all artists, not just Maliedon. So we have to look a little bit deeper and ask ourselves why it's so prominent with him. Well, on top of the music being pretty much the most wild and direct out of anybody else, there's a little thing in the marketing community that works pretty much more effectively than any other tactic to get something popular. And that's what we call social proof. This basically describes the effect that takes place when somebody sees that everybody else likes something or thinks a certain type of way. They automatically feel like they also have to align with that mindset. The same reason why to get people to come to your party, you have to make it look like there are people in your party. A lot of girls are prone to like what the other girls like. And I don't care who you are, if all you're hearing every day is how much your female friends love Maliedon and would like just one night with him, you're at least going to be curious to find out why. Which actually brings me to the third and currently most prominent reason
Huh?
for Maliedon's takeover as the girl dem artist. Yes, the ladies always loved Mali, but it only really started to reach the level we talk about now in the past year or so, when he ascended to new proportions and fully took over Baker's position as the artist that every girl wanted. After climbing to the top, the only other girl artist Mali was competing against was Armani, who had previously had the best year of his career. But you see, unlike Mali, Armani had pretty much exclusively been targeting the ladies for majority of his career, and so this was going to be a very tough battle to see who would come out on top. And as much as some people would have probably expected them to compete hard and go banger for banger for banger to see who comes out as number one, the two of them decided to do something that absolutely nobody expected. They came together and not competed, but collaborated. And not only just collaborated, but became a dynamic duo, because after the success of their first song 7 o'clock, when the ladies absolutely ate it up and begged for more, they did not stop until they gave them a follow-up song. And to this this day, 8 O'Clock is easily one of the biggest hit songs of the entire year. After 8 O'Clock came 9 p.m. and Charge Up, and the fans are still asking for more. And so because of these massive collaborations,
Bro,
all of
them
the
shit
girls
went
who previously only
crazy.
liked
Whole lot of
Armani
girls
were
them
now
love that.
also fans of Mali and vice versa. In just one move, Maliedon's fan base and loyalty with the ladies basically doubled. And my view of the perception of fame is that people will view how relevant you are based on who you associate with. And this includes both your friends and your enemies, which is why Alkaline clashing with Vybz Kartel basically put them on the same level in people's minds, even if Alkaline had not done the accomplishments that he had. The crossover with Armani was basically the final step that Mali used to be seen as fully on the side of the ladies and less on the side of the streets. And while he still does obviously represent for the six, I'm sure that by this point he realizes that having every girl in the country on the edge of their seat is not only a much more commercially profitable experience for his career, but also, let's be real, he's probably benefiting in other ways as well. But speaking of the female fans, if you want to find out why Baker also got this treatment from them during his time, click the video on your screen right now. And as
What happened to
always, the
Baker
dog
dog?
pound
Like,
has been
yo,
uploaded.
you know, I need to go look up Baker kind of dog. Like, what happened to Baker, man? Long time in here about Baker, long time in here a Baker song. Like, what's popping? Big up dancehall. Be what it do, you know. Maldan be doing his thing though.